I strongly believe I have solved climate crisis, and I'm going to show you how. So climate change has now escalated to climate crisis. Climate crisis is such a big word, but what can I am so small and insignificant, can do about it? So to answer the question of to address a problem, we need to find out the root cause of climate crisis. To me, climate crisis is civilization. It started 7,000 BCE when Homo sapiens discovered fire. And it has accelerated during our industrial age, where we pump fossil fuel from the ground. So the key components of climate crisis is BAU, which is business as usual. So I called it the Trinity of mass destruction, right? On top, we have financiers, bankers, which loan out loans, which give out loans to corporations, and also give out loans to government. So you see, when corporations take that money, they would then go out and exploit nature, making products. They go on doing logging, they go on doing monoculture, they go on mining rare earth and make products for everyone, right? And for example, they also exploit human, by the way. So we are very familiar with fast fashion industry. For example, in Bangladesh, you hear about the sweatshops where they earn less than $1 per day, and the building was so unsafe it collapsed and killed the workers. You also heard about cotton farmers in India, which they were so exploited that they drank pesticides to kill themselves. So in other words, the weapon of mass destruction, the real weapon of mass destruction is actually money. See, infinite money. When the money is not backed by a gold or any commodity, it is purely based on speculation. So the value only exists in our collective mind. Seneca said, don't rely on hope. So I cannot hope that my government will do the right thing. I cannot hope that the corporations will do the right thing. Of course, I cannot hope the bankers will do the right thing. So what I did, I appealed to the most powerful being in my reality, which is me, right? So 8, the number 8 is my number, apparently. See, when we do a life cycle analysis of a personal environmental impact, see, from the day we are born to the day we die, we consume products and services. See, diapers, we go on holidays to Bahamas, we drive cars and we change them every 3 years, we buy stocks, we buy our houses, and then we buy our holiday homes. You see, every product and every services, they carry a carbon price. So, how much carbon do you produce? How much carbon do I produce? Well, I have no idea. It would be nice to have an app on your handphone that tells you every purchase you buy from 11-11 how much carbon it produces. But at the moment, we don't have. However, I have a clue from Edgar study. 8 tons of carbon per annum, me as a Malaysian, I produce. So I call this environmental debt. As status quo will go, it will be snowballed to next generation, you see? Because when we consume products and services, we don't think of how can I absorb back the carbon debt. We just snowball. That's why we are at this crisis at the moment. We must break this cycle. So, how can I pay back the debt and build environmental capital for the next generation? Well, Albert Einstein said, look deeper into nature, there you will find everything better. So to tell you a story, one day I was on my mountain bike, cycling up Penang Hill, actually pushing because the gradient was too steep and I am not as fit as I once was. So when I was pushing my bike up, I saw a troop of monkeys. They were spectacle langurs. So they are also called dusky leaf monkeys. So I stare at them in fascination, like, wow, these wild monkeys having a time of their life doing monkey business. Then I asked myself, what is the purpose of a monkey? So, what is the purpose of a monkey? I will show you. The first one, the purpose of a monkey is consumption, eat fruits. So the purpose of a monkey is to eat fruits. Second, when they peel the skin, they throw. So they are actually making compost. And the third, and the far most important thing, they sow seeds. Every single day of their life, they eat fruits, they make compost, they sow seed. So every monkey in their lifetime, how many trees would they have planted? So with a biosphere consciousness and Kant's categorical imperative as my guide, here are my climate action. Number 1, fruit for lunch. I am substituting 1 meal a day with fruits only. So I was born in Penang, and we have the best street food in the world, arguably. I cannot give up my char kway teow and my laksa and my curry mee and my rojak, So I say, okay, 1 meal is a good compromise. So now I'm eating 1 meal a day, only fruits. And I will get the fruits from my garden, which I'm growing. And then I will get from asli, from the indigenous people. And the third option would be a local fruit. Why I do that? Because with the local fruits, I can actually make compost and also keep the seeds. And you see, when you eat raw fruits in its natural form, you don't have to prepare it, you don't have to cook it, you don't have to store it, you don't have to refrigerate. So it is the most efficient food. I'm also observing in Okinawa, they have this practice called hara hachibu, which means stop before you're full. In Chinese, we have it, we say 七分饱, means eat until 70% full. So if you practice this, you would feel, you suddenly feel that your appetite for consumption reduces for food as well as other aspects of your life. Right. So the second action I have was to make a compost pit. So I've actually designed a compost pit to process food waste, organic waste, and also human manure. So I call it the tumbler. So it's a composting, it's a composter which I designed so that my 7-year-old and my 4-year-old kids, they can also do. They just open up the hatch and then they just roll it like this. See, they fill up. So I'm also experimenting with composting toilet. Let you on a secret. Composting toilet, they don't splash. Right. So can you imagine 7 billion people in the world, if they would use their human manure? We have 7 billion kilos of fertilizer every single day. Wow. How many things we can plant with that? Right. But in a linear economy, we do what we do best. We just bin it and flush it down the toilet. Such a waste, right? Okay, so the third step, I would say grow more, buy less. Right. I'm practicing syntropic agroforestry. is a method founded by Ernest Gotch. And my sifu is Namaste, he's a Brazilian. So I learned from him. What draws me to this method is zero input, meaning no water, no fertilizer, no pesticide. If I can summarize this method into 2 words, it's called mimicking nature. You see, in nature, if you've been to hikes and all those in national parks, you would observe that, the trees, they grow so close to each other and they thrive. Tall tree, small tree, big tree, medium tree. So, if you learn about stratification, you would know that an emergent tree would live happily with a low strata tree, also a medium, and also a high. With that knowledge, you can plant in very close proximity, and you don't have to do monocrop. So with that understanding, I would say no plant is an island. So I go about planting. So I planted at my place, papaya, mango, jackfruit, custard apple, coconut, cassava, ginger, turmeric, umbrella, passion fruit, cacao, dragon fruit, guava, soursop, mulberry, chili, ginseng, neem, orangai, coral vine, blackjack. See, one mature tree absorbs 25 kilograms of carbon every single year. So for me, I will need 320 trees, mature trees, to be carbon neutral, right? But just to be safe, I have adopted a secondary forest in Pahang, which I will plant 10,000 trees, just to be safe. So I say I'm planting trees because our lives depends on it, because it really does. So I'm also, as you can see, I'm also a tree ninja, meaning I will go about, I see an empty plot, I'll plant. So plant first, ask later. Plant first, ask later. And in my house, because I'm practicing agroforestry, I have a lot of visitors, like monkeys, tree shrews, squirrels, birds, insects, snakes. So yeah, so we can improve our biodiversity with agroforestry. So it is my goal to eliminate food mile, to increase food security, to improve food safety. So I would like to introduce the carbon negative food coupled with a carbon neutral logistic and supply chain to bring to the masses carbon negative fruits. So can you imagine, every fruit you eat help absorb carbon from the air. So I would like also to take this chance to say no to monocrop, because palm oil is causing us annual transboundary haze and also nitrate runoff. So this is my appeal to you. Please don't use palm oil. It's literally killing us. Okay, enough of monkeying. So the next action I have is honeybees. Bees are important. So when I heard that the population is declining, I adopted hives. I have Thoracica, I have Itama, Apis. I'm also experimenting with induction method to propagate. So my goal is to have 1,000 hives of honey. And the fifth action I have is rainwater harvesting. See, at my downpipe from my gutter, I have first flush and filter, element filter, and also pump. And after the filter, I put the glass in the sun for 2 hours to kill the pathogen with sunlight, and then I pour it into the filtration final stage. And let me tell you a secret. The taste of rainwater is so much better than city water. So if everyone collects rainwater, well, we might just reduce flash flood in urban areas. And also we can demolish dams, stop constructions of new ones too. So the number 6 of my climate action is, I call it flip the switch. 72% of energy use produce 72% of global carbon emission produced is from energy use. So at my house, I've installed 10 kilowatt of solar panel, which is 40 panels. I'm generating 1,050 kilowatt hours or unit of electricity and exporting. I'm only using 150, see? So I'm actually carbon negative. But I didn't stop there because I know that 150 is from coal. So I installed 48 kilowatt hours of storage battery and added 2 kilowatt, which is 6 panels. So my house now is 100% renewable. Who needs a power plant? So the last step is electrifying my ride. So my background is actually a fuel cell engineer. So I've designed, built hydrogen bikes, solar cars, fuel cell trikes, EVs, electric powered vehicle. And also I ran around the world for races, you know, that was my thing. So, but I come into conclusion that bicycle is the most important, is most efficient transportation. So, but in Malaysia, come on, so hot and humid. So what I did, I electrify. I make my bicycle electric. So I can charge at home, which is from solar, and 100%. So I'm also designing a bamboo electric car at the moment, which I think could be a hit in the future. So, but in terms of transportation, you know, we have 5G AI coming in. Nothing beats working from home. You know, how efficient is that? So in conclusion, to solve climate crisis, don't be a selfish human, be a monkey. Thank you.